Starfield is not long away, and we only have to wait till September 6th to get our hands on Starfield, whether you're playing on Game Pass or whether you bought the full game at retail. Now, since the Starfield Direct, Todd Howard has done a couple of interviews, one with IGN, with Ryan McCaffrey, and also now with Kinda Funny Games, and he's given us quite a few more details and little tidbits about Starfield and what we can expect from not only from the base game, but what's coming up in the future. So let's get straight into it with this Starfield news video. So let's talk first about the DLC. Now, Todd Howard mentioned that there will be DLC for Starfield, which we also got a first look at in the Constellation Edition, where it showed that there will be the first ever Starfield story expansion pack available for those who get the Starfield Premium or Deluxe Edition, Constellation Edition, and you will get first access to the story expansion whenever it is released. The first story expansion is called Starfield Shattered Space, which we can only get a notion of what it is through its name. And again, this will be available for those who have the Constellation Edition or the Premium Edition, which costs an extra $30 or £30 compared to the Standard Edition. You'll also get 5 days early access and also a couple new skin packs for your weapons and armor through these special editions. Now, Todd Howard did go on to mention that just like previous Bethesda Game Studio games, there will be an option not only for large expansive DLCs like this Shattered Space story expansion, but also smaller DLCs will be available through Bethesda themselves. And I'm sure that he also means the Creation Club, which you can pay for kind of modded DLCs that are Bethesda approved. That stuff will most likely be definitely making its way into Starfield at some point too. I don't think at launch, but some point I'm thinking we're going to be getting Creation Club in Starfield. Now, what I expect from smaller DLCs is brand new weapons, brand new armor set, brand new modules for your spaceship, brand new modules for your outpost, all that kind of stuff, and also maybe some new features. Now, new features I think will be part of different story expansions, just how we had dragon riding in Skyrim with the Dragonborn expansion DLC. Now, it's hard to say what kind of new features we're going to want yet, but there is one big one, which is ground and land vehicles, which Todd Howard did confirm won't be available in the base game, but we hope that maybe some DLC in the future, whether it's a small DLC, but most likely I think it will be part of a story expansion, and we will get land vehicles if it's possible. Now, I think it would have, if it was possible to have it in the base game, it would have been. So I don't know if it's even possible with the creation engine to have land vehicles in Starfield. I mean, we haven't seen that kind of stuff in Skyrim because we had horses, but we never actually had any like horse and carriages or anything like that, or within Fallout, which is more appropriate for having cars and land vehicles in that kind of sense, and that wasn't available then. So I don't know if it's even possible with Starfield to have land vehicles, but we hope that that won't be the only new feature, and there's a lot more, but right now we can't really tell which kind of new features we would want, and we will see. But it is coming. According to Todd Howard, there will be new features coming to Starfield. Now let's get on to another thing that will make the game last forever, and that is mods. Todd Howard confirmed that Starfield will indeed, in fact, be supporting mods. So there will be mods available for Xbox and PC, and because it's not a PlayStation game, we don't have to worry about that platform. But Xbox and PC generally have the better mods when it comes to Bethesda Game Studios, as they don't restrict certain modifications to the game like PlayStation do. However, we also got the news that this game's planets were over 1,000, and 10% of those planets, which makes about 100, will have signs of life. It will have alien creatures, and there will be about, from this estimation, 900 or so barren planets full of resources and just amazing viewscapes, and it will be procedurally generated. Now, obviously, people are very, very disappointed about that, saying, why is there 900? What's the point of having 900 plus planets? But this is kind of like a modder's paradise. I mean, Todd Howard said it himself, this will be a dream come true paradise for modders. They have 900 plus planets to just go crazy with and make them whatever they want. I mean, I can only imagine what kind of things people are going to do to a full planet, a planet-sized mod. That will be absolutely crazy, and I cannot wait to see what they do. So that's a thing. That's a feature, modifications, DLC. Those two things themselves will make the game last for years and years on end until we get the next game in production, which is The Elder Scrolls 6. Not only will we get mod support from players and mod creators, but we also may see Bethesda approved mods, as we just talked about a little bit earlier with the Creation Club. So that is basically Bethesda approved mods, where we got in Skyrim Special Edition, where we had the survival system, and if you bought the Skyrim Anniversary Edition, they actually included all the Creation Club mods as a full package within this Skyrim Anniversary Edition. So those are the type of mods that Bethesda kind of approve themselves. They kind of officially licensed Bethesda mods, which we may be seeing in Starfield. I'm pretty sure that we're definitely going to be seeing it, as it's another paid avenue for Starfield. It's another monetization scheme for them that they could go ahead and monetize, and that's just what we're going to be seeing in Starfield. I don't know if we're going to see that on launch, but again, we may see that a little bit down the road. Now, even though after the launch of Starfield, it is assumed that The Elder Scrolls 6 will be in full development, as we know, Todd Howard said that this game is going to last a very long time, and they're still going to be supporting it for years and years to come. Just look at what they did with Skyrim. They always re-release Skyrim on different platforms, different consoles, different versions, different anniversary editions, a board game, all that kind of good stuff. We may even see that with Starfield, although Skyrim did come out for a few generations. I mean, it came out on the PS3, it was around all of PS4, and we even got the special edition, and with PS5 we got the anniversary edition. So it's hard to imagine that now that Starfield's out on PS5, we may see a different version or a more complete version with different story expansion for PS6, and then when PS7 comes out, we may see like a anniversary Starfield edition, and we may get a Starfield board game. But that's just something in terms of how long these Bethesda games last and how long it takes to make a Bethesda game. And this is Starfield, so we may not see another Starfield game for years, for decades. I mean, yeah, it's not even years and years, it's decades. So we've really got to, enjoy Starfield, because once it comes, we've got it for a very, very long time. So just going quickly back to my point, just because the Elder Scrolls 6 will be in full development, they won't be abandoning Starfield. It still will be a major, major priority, but they wouldn't need every one of their developers, their full teams working on Starfield. They would only need a couple handful of people. Todd Howard would give the word on what kind of things he would like to see included. This is Todd Howard's dream game. This is something that he's wanted to do for 25 plus years. So we're going to be seeing a lot of support, and we really, really hope that this is one of the best games that has ever been released. Let's talk about Starfield performance. Now, we already got the news, I think on the same day of the Starfield Direct, that the game will be 30 frames per second on the Xbox Series X and S, and there will be no performance options, because if there was a performance option, they would have to kind of scale back a couple things in terms of visuals, like lighting and textures and all that kind of stuff. But Todd Howard didn't want that. He wanted consistency, and just by the sheer scale of this game, it makes sense. But he did say this one quote that I want to read right now. Todd Howard says, "And I would say, look, developers know this, but there are things that you can do to make that look and feel great. Things like motion blur, how fast the game refreshes or reacts to a controller input. All of those things matter to something feeling great, and I can honestly say this is the best feeling game that we've had." So he's basically saying just because it's 30 frames per second, it still will feel good, and they've really optimized this game to make it feel as great as possible in terms of controller input, motion blur, refresh rate, all that kind of stuff has been optimized to the highest level. And of course, we need to get our hands on the game, but just because it's 30 frames per second, don't expect it to run really bad. It's gonna feel good. We've been used to 30 frames per second for years and years before PlayStation 5, but this should be slightly even better than what we're used to with 30 frames per second, from what I understand with this quote. And again, just talking about when we get to the PS6 and PS7, we can kind of expect that one of the big features for those versions of Starfield will be consistent 4K 60 frames per second. And rounding off, let's talk quickly about the main story, which Todd Howard says it's about 30 to 40 hours long and is 20% bigger than Skyrim's story and also Fallout 4's story, which is going to be quite big, quite in-depth, which I like. I really do love the main stories of these games. I thought Fallout 4 story was really good. I love the choice between the Commonwealth and the synths, and we all know there's something weird about this main story. There's some big secret that Bethesda will not tell us. Of course, we're gonna have to play the game, and the big question is, are we really alone? Are humans the only things out there? Now, we know that there's these alien kind of animals on these planets, but that's not really what they're talking about. We're really talking about signs of intelligent life. Are we the only ones out there? And with this artifact that we're chasing, we know that it wasn't humans that built this artifact. There was some other type of intelligent life that we are going to meet that made that artifact. So it's going to be very interesting. I personally right now don't think there's going to be different types of intelligent life flying around, or we're going to meet them a lot. Even after the main story is done and we discover them, I think it's going to be like one kind of special being, and his race got extinct and there was this colony of different things, and now humans are the only ones left. That's what I think it's going to be kind of. But this story is going to be big, it's going to be grand, it's going to be bigger than anything that they've ever done before, and I'm sure this is the kind of story that Todd Howard really wanted to tell for the last 25 years when it came to this space game. Those were just some of the things I wanted to talk about in regards to how this game is going to last for years and years, with its DLC support, big, small DLC, expansions, mods, creation club, updates, and the main story, and how it's probably going to be very replayable. Because of the different traits and backgrounds, there's so much to this game. This game is not just Starfield, the space exploration game. This game is Starfield, the space sim, the spaceship flyer, the planet exploration, the resource management, the outpost creating. There's so much to this game. There's so many different little genres that this game is everything. And it could be played by anyone looking for any type of space experience. That is just the ultimate space package, and that is what Starfield is. That is why everyone, and probably not everyone, not 100% people, but 80% of people are very excited for Starfield, and we hope that we get the game very soon in September. We hope it comes fast. We hope it doesn't break on launch and it isn't a Cyberpunk 2077 situation, which now is getting an incredible update, incredible reboot. If you want me to talk about that, I'll talk about it on this channel. If you want more Starfield updates and just going deeper diving, or just looking at different rumors and things that may be coming to the game, I want to make those videos. But of course, this video will have to do good, so go ahead and like the video, comment, let me know what you guys feel about Starfield. What do you like about Starfield? What's the thing that excites you the most? I'm actually going to read the comments, so please comment. I like the comments, I heart the comments, I reply to as much as I can, and even if I don't reply and I don't like, I am reading the comments. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Peace out, God bless. I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Take care, guys.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.